To the Brothers on Air Pod.
Totally silent for like a second, but it's okay.
Yeah, I saw. All right. Welcome back to the Brothers on Air podcast experience extravaganza. Welcome back. This week we got a doozy.
A doozy.
I want to say. I think that's appropriate language to use for the movies that we're talking about. Am I right, Thomas?
You could say that. You could definitely say that.
So, my brother here, old co-host, co-founder, and assistant treasurer of
creative director. I'd
Brothers
like
on
to
Air
say.
podcast. Assistant treasurer. Assistant to the creative director, actually.
Yeah.
Came up with a interesting idea last week to watch some what are they called? What was the terminology you used?
I use the term cult classics.
Cult classics. So we picked two, and we watched them.
Yes, we did.
And we're gonna review them.
I actually watched 4, but I went above and beyond.
Okay, well,
I went above and beyond. I went above and beyond.
I have a life, Thomas. I have to do other things besides watch movies. So which one would you like to start with today, Thomas? The first of the 4 that you watched, or the solo shoot-off?
No.
I think we should start
I watched 4 total, but we were only talking about 2.
Yeah, I think that we
should
watch.
Which
we
one?
should start with the Goonies.
I'm so okay with that because we're saving the best for last, is what you're saying.
That's true. That's true. I'll give that to you.
100% facts.
Yeah, the Goonies, a 1985 film. Both of these were 1985.
Yes, sir.
That's a little hint for you guys. Or the second one, if you can guess it. 1985 film. Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Following his great achievement of E.T., I think this one came out right after that. Oh, wait, no. Director Richard Donner. What the heck?
Nice. I think it might have been produced.
Wait. Oh, he's a writer? Story by. Never mind. Story by Steven Spielberg. I thought this was directed by Steven Spielberg. What the heck?
I thought it was also... I know he had a hand in it. Well, he has a hand in both movies that we're talking about.
Yeah.
He was executive producer of this other movie that we're talking about. Yeah, story by. Yeah, you're right.
I'm dumb, yeah.
It's weird.
Did he even...
He was executive producer. He was executive producer.
Oh, okay. So he's produced. I'm dumb. I thought he directed. All right. Directed by... Fill in the name of whoever this guy is.
Richard Donner.
I don't know what else he's done.
Don't know.
Starring Sean Astin. Everybody knows Samwise Gamgee, little young boy.
Yeah, it took me a second, not gonna lie. I was watching him like, why do I know this face? And I went to IMDb and I clicked on his, I'm like, oh, duh.
Yeah. A young Josh Brolin. Everybody knows Thanos.
Wait, that? No, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on,
I am today years old.
Thanos. And that's really much it. I don't think anybody else had a massive break at all out of this.
But what's his name is in it? Where is it? Okay, can't say this, dude. How am I supposed to say this?
Ke Huy Quan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy?
Yeah, he was short round in Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Dude was like the stock.
He's awesome, dude.
He was like the token Asian for all 80s.
That's so
Asian kid. Like I
true.
Swear. Like I saw him, he was just like it was like a bunch of white kids, and he was like, oh, here's him as like the random Asian friend.
He was in X-Men, do you know that?
Yeah, I did. I think I clicked on him as well, Data. Yeah. So this great movie follows a young group of misfits called the Goonies, who discover an ancient map and set out on an adventure to find a
legendary pirate long lost treasure.
Lost treasure.
Wow, where'd you read that
pirate,
from?
Thomas? Who's the pirate, Thomas?
One-Eyed
Jack. That's who it is.
Yeah, that's who it is. I knew that.
And watching these films, I don't watch old films, so I'm so accustomed to like new age type style of
I
films.
love it. I love it so much.
And it's so I just need to get you. I like when the Goonies first started, and I heard these kids acting and their little like ways they talked and just interacted. I was just like, oh, ugh. I'm used to like production kid actors.
Oh, not even that.
You can't get that.
Not even that. I just love like how terrible the sound is in like 80s and 90s
Oh yeah,
movies. I just
yeah.
love it. I don't know why. It's amazing.
Dude, I like it. It's like once I start watching it for a bit, I'm like, okay, like I've gotten used to it now. I can watch these without like cringing, and I enjoy it, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I genuinely like this film. I feel like most people when they watch this, yeah, you can't be like, I don't like this film.
Okay, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just okay for me. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan.
How was it not good?
I don't know. It just felt like there was like a super rough story, but like it was just so like long. Like how long is this movie? An hour and 54 minutes? Bro, this movie should be like a 90-minute movie. If that, like an 85-minute movie. I don't know. I just kind of got bored.
It didn't feel that long to me when I was watching it. I agree. The story is the most basic treasure hunt story like ever.
Yeah.
Like all of this, also this is a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
All of this happens in a day. Less than a day. They find like a map after school and then go and find the treasure by nightfall. Before the sun.
No, wait, that's so true.
It's like I don't understand how
that's
that
amazing.
Works, but, like,
yeah.
But like
there's definitely things about the movie that I enjoy, but like most of it, I don't know. It's just kind of like I also watched the other one we're going to talk about first, and I like really enjoyed that movie like quite a lot.
Yeah.
And like this one, then I went to this one, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
And they came out in the same year, dude, and like the quality of everything is just not as good.
I mean, I feel like back then with like going back to like the child acting thing, you just kind of like work with what you got. Like nowadays, you have stuff like Stranger Things, or I
haven't seen
don't know what's another like kid cast.
Don't know.
What's it called? Umbrella Academy. They had a couple kids in that were really good.
Haven't seen that either.
Like where the quality of child actors, I guess. I mean, you've seen like Logan, the kid in Logan,
right.
And now she's in
His Dark Materials.
The Dark Materials. Like the quality of kid actors are like at such a high level now that like there are actually like really good child actors.
Yeah.
Where here it's just like you kind of took what you got.
Yeah.
You know.
Fair.
I mean, I don't really know. Like, I don't think the older actors were that bad. I think it was kind of they were locked into their time of whatever this type of style movie was. It's kind of like comedy adventure type thing. I mean, it was a comedy family movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it reminds me of like I don't know what it reminds me of.
It was okay.
Just a movie.
It was all right. It wasn't like my favorite thing.
I mean, I liked
but it was
it.
okay.
I mean, I liked it a lot. It's just funny. Like, I mean, Sloth. Like, how can you not find Sloth like just lovable, man? He's a chained up.
Is that guy? Okay, I don't even know his name.
Yeah. Sloth.
I thought Chunk was like a little funny.
Chunk. Oh my gosh, Chunk literally is like. All this character is like he just eats anything and he just screams.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
He like was about to get his hand blended up. At one point he's like stolen by he's captured by like the villains of here. Yeah. And they're like questioning him. They're being like, we're gonna blend your hand up if you don't tell us. And then like 2 minutes later he finds ice cream and gets all happy and just starts plowing through ice cream. Like, dude, like you almost just lost your hand. You almost just died. What is this?
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, his parents pick him up and they bring him a pizza.
I gotta say, the names in this movie are pretty great. From Mikey, Brand, Chunk, Mouth, Andy, Steph, Data, Sloth, Jake, Francis, and Mama Fratel. Fratarelli.
Thomas.
What? There's a T. Fratarelli. Fratelli.
It's not Fratelli.
I don't know.
It's Italian.
There's a T there, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's Italian, man. They're all a bunch of weirdos. But I mean, I don't get how you can watch this and not like it.
It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't terrible either.
It's a lighthearted, warm movie.
It was okay.
Like the plot. I mean, like this.
The plot was so weak, dude.
They find a map in an attic because for some reason, Brand and Mikey's dad just has a bunch of historical crap in his attic.
Yeah.
They give no characterization. The only time you see
context
this is when they leave to go on like the adventure, they like run past their dad and they're like, "Hello," and he's like, "Hey kids," and then you see him later when he comes and picks them up.
Yeah.
Like that's literally the only time you see his dad.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's just like Indiana Jones out here, just like has so much crap.
Speaking of,
And
they
so
definitely had a couple like homages to Indiana Jones.
I'm sure they did.
Like when the rock was coming down and they were running away. Like, come on, that's straight up Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So they did that, and then they go on their treasure hunt, and they find this like summer vacation shop on the shore where the Fratellis are living, which are a family of crime people.
Yo, how long has this place been closed, dude? Because it sounded like it hasn't for a while, but you walk in and it looks like...
Yeah, it's run down. So they stumble upon this house right as the family murders 2 random people. I feel like they're cops, but I don't know who they are. They just killed them. And so they go in, they kind of meet them, they leave, kind of knowing that they're bad people, and then they go back into the house because that's where the treasure map leads, and then they go down a chimney chute.
And they're just like...
Like they just...
Yo, hold up. You know what I just realized? Okay. What? Do you remember how close they were to the shore? They were on the ocean.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they come out in the cave on the ocean.
So they literally just went down.
So did it just like start here? Yeah. Like just go down the coast.
Loop backwards. Yeah, I have no idea.
And there's just like a massive pirate ship. Like no one knows it's there. Like what?
It's a massive like cave that can fit a pirate.
Yeah.
Ship that he somehow stuck in there and then covered it up. Like no one noticed at all. And then yeah, they're like the only things that they have to go through is they walk down this tunnel that is booby trapped at the very end of it.
Yeah.
To have rocks fall starting from the beginning every probably 5 seconds all the way up. And also, like, it takes 20 minutes to cut the rope to start. So I don't know if anyone dies to that.
Yeah.
And then they go into, like, the next room, and, like, somebody falls down a hole.
Yeah.
And almost dies. And somehow that leads to another room. I don't know how that's part of it. Is a death trap leads to the next part of the stage. But whatever.
Listen, all I'm saying is if Nicolas Cage was in this movie, he would have this done like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, he would have found that treasure so quick. That national treasure, you know what? Yo,
amen.
We should do National Treasure.
Oh,
dude,
no,
great movies.
I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It's so awesome.
The scene
where
he cuts his thumb. I think it's the second one, and like rolls out.
No, that's the first one
with his blood.
That's the first one.
But like when I was a kid and I watched it, I was like, ah! Every time he did that.
The movie's so awesome. I love those. I probably watched the second one like literally like 30 times because we had it on PSP.
Yeah,
as a disc
one's
for
so
PSP.
sad, man.
Oh, it's so good.
That one's so sad.
Those movies are awesome.
Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna ruin it.
Anyway, back to Goonies. One thing that I just noticed really quick.
Yeah.
Just to put like the movie in perspective, the budget was $19 million, which in today's money is $47 million, and it grossed $124 million worldwide in 1985. I don't know what that is in today's money, but probably like
seems good.
Probably like $200K, let's say.
I mean, that seems like the on standard with what...
That's like a 4-time over investment.
What that money would do.
It's a good ROI.
At the time. Did you see... Okay, let's talk about the slight amount of CGI they had in this movie. Did you notice... So there's scenes like when they're far... Okay, first of all, you can kind of tell when they're far away, like when they first got to the boat and they're looking at the boat wasn't real. It was kind of like an image.
Right.
And it like was kind of shuddery. When they jumped away from the boat and they're swimming and all the rocks are starting to fall down because like the Farrelly family triggered a trap and like the cave is coming in, they CGI'd rocks falling from the ceiling and coming down and hitting the water. And like you could tell that they're CGI because the gravity doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And then the rocks would hit the water, and right as they hit the water, they disappear and they just put like an animated splash thing over the water. So there's literally a scene where like one of the people is swimming and one of the rocks hits right where he is, and then a splash just happens on top of him, like going away. It looks like so bad.
That's amazing.
Of 1985, it's like the best they could do, but it's so funny. Like when they're swimming away, I like replayed it and watched it a couple times, and it was just great.
That's awesome. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. That is one thing you have to point out is that most of the effects in this movie are practical effects.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool. Also, I have to say, like, when I watch like this movie and the other movie, You know what it makes me really appreciate
What?
is how good of a movie and how good the effects and how revolutionary the effects were in A New Hope, because that came out 8 years before and they're like still better than this movie. That's pretty incredible. But
Better, but not by much. They're by slim margin.
It's better.
I will say that I don't know about revolutionary because I don't really know that much on CGI and stuff. I will say that they were better. They weren't that good.
They were
also what they were
it's
animating
from the 70s, bro.
What they were animating, Thomas, was, hey, look, laser beam. Another laser beam. Like, that's it. The rest of it was practical. Like the whole tunnel.
A lot of it was practical, yeah. Regardless, I don't know. It just gave me some appreciation for the Star Wars movies, as I'm a large Star Wars fan. But
that's good. That's good.
I don't know. This movie was okay. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it either.
I like it.
I gave it like a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
2.5? I didn't even rate it. I couldn't give it a fair rating, to be honest.
Because I feel like it's like a what? Is that low? Is that high? I feel like it's not.
I feel like it's low. I feel like it should have like a 3.
No, 3's too high. See, this is a problem with a 5-star rating.
No.
Yep.
3.
No, 3's too high.
3 is perfectly. I like the movie. It's not great. It's not bad. I just liked it. Anything below 3, 2.5 starts getting to the point where like there are flaws in it that make it bad. Anything above it is there are things in it that make it a good movie.
No.
3 is perfectly.
No.
It is just a mind-numbing movie. It's like Furious 4. Fast and Furious 4.
You mean Fast and the Furious?
Fast and
Not
Furious.
to be confused with the first movie, The Fast and the Furious?
Or Tokyo Drift. More like that's a little better.
That's like a 4.
Like a 3.
4 in my book.
No, it's a 3.
No,
it's a
4.
3.
Solid 4.
Well, this movie is like a 6.5 to me on a 10. I kind of have like 10 lately, to be honest.
Because it's better, meaning out of 100. So yeah, I'd probably
100. 100 is not better.
It is better.
You stick with 10 and you go 6, 6.5, 7. You don't go 6.2.
No, you do. No, that's what you do. That's what you do.
What does that even mean? There is nothing.
I'd give this like a 6.3, honestly. Yeah.
I'll give it a 6.5, pushing a 7. But I like it. It's funny. I think, you know what honestly makes me annoyed though? Shut up. You know what makes me annoyed? Is that like they see someone drag like a corpse out of the house, right? And they get scared by that. They then find a corpse in the building. They scream at that. They then find a skeleton. They scream at that. They almost die like 4 times. They scream at that. And they find the skeletons on the ship. They scream. At some point, dude, another skeleton isn't that scary.
What was kind of funny though is when is his name Data, the Asian dude?
Yeah, Data.
Eventually, when he falls through on the ship, he's like, "I'm tired of skeletons." And I was just like, "Me too, sir. Me too."
That's funny. I like the scene where like what does Data do? He like does something and then he starts like ranting to himself, being like, "No one appreciates my gadgets. I always say they're bad." And he's just like, everybody's doing something else to the left, and then he's just like ranting by himself to the right. It's so funny.
That's awesome.
It's like this 8-year-old kid just like mad at the world. It's great.
It was pretty good. Also, I like I thought the ending was good. It was wholesome.
Yeah. Another cool thing, John Sloth, so the big guy,
right,
is John Matuzak. I don't know how to say his name. Who was a defensive lineman. He's a football player. So the guy was like actually massive.
Really? For who?
Yeah. For Sloth. Oh, for who? I don't know. I want to say, I don't know if I can, I'm going to click on his picture. Maybe I can see his jersey. I don't know. It looks like blue. Patriots, maybe? You could literally just look it up.
He signed University of Tampa for their football team. Yes. He played for the longest stint of his 6 years were with Oakland/LA Raiders.
Oh.
He also later joined the Houston Oilers in the World Football League. That was a thing.
I don't even know what that means.
But he never actually played.
So that guy was like actually like built. So, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, what else can we say about this movie?
Wow, it was actually a thing. The World Football League was a short-lived American football league that played one full season in 1974 and most of its second in 1975. Oof. So was this like the XFL, apparently?
I don't know. You know what else? I thought was funny in this movie, Steph. So like the third wheel, older girl,
Right. Yeah.
was like, I think out of that group, probably the best actor out of all of them, and it was just so funny because she's just dragged into this whole situation, third wheeling in the beginning, and then she's like going through life and death, and is like one of like the just like the it's not sturdy minded, but level headed person like all throughout it. And she's just like kind of funny as it like goes along. And I'm just like, she's constantly in these situations where she's just like observing everything happening, not like to her, and everybody else is like the main character. It's just like funny to me.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of times where she's just like third wheel for Andy, and it was just funny to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much more to say on this movie.
All right, you didn't like it? You didn't really like it that much?
Not really. I don't know. It was okay.
Also,
it
you see the little,
wasn't great.
You see the little foreshadowing? Did you catch the little foreshadowing in the beginning when you met Sloth?
Mm.
So Chunk gets put into the cell with Sloth, right? And he's watching a movie, and it's like some guy like he's like, "Let's get him, boys!" And he like swings from a rope and goes into the other ship. And I was like, I bet you that's foreshadowing because there's no reason that they would show that length of clip for no reason.
Oh, when they come down the sail? Is that what you're talking about?
At the end, he comes on the sail, then he grabs the two people off the thing by swinging at him.
And
I'm like, foreshadow.
I noticed the sail thing. I didn't notice that.
The sail? Did he cut his way down a sail as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, the whole thing was foreshadow then. But yeah, the whole scene where he's like, yeah, all right. I think 6. I'm you know what, 7. I'm gonna say 7.
Nah.
I think a 7
is
a solid rating for this movie.
Nah.
It is a nice 1985 family-friendly adventure movie. It is great. They swear a lot, to be honest. I am very surprised in these films.
Dude, it's the 80s, bro.
It's PG?
Yeah.
Bro.
When I first searched the Goonies, I think it might show up again. Let me see if it shows up. No. It does, but it's not the first one. When I first searched the Goonies, you know how on Google it'll say people also ask?
Yeah.
The very first one was, is the Goonies kid friendly? I'm like, wait, isn't this a kid's movie? And I watched it, I was like, I mean, I kind of understand why they're asking that, but at the same time, like, come on.
Wait, I'm looking at the Did You Know thing, and this is goofs, and it says when Jake Fratelli takes his ice cream off Chunk, director Robert Donner can be heard giggling off screen when Chunk starts to cry.
Really?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's funny. All right. I think we're good on this.
Enough of this movie. I'm sick of this movie. This movie sucked.
This movie's good.
Nah, it was alright. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite. Next movie was much better, Isaac.
No, I think it was much better. I like this film.
We watched Back to the Future. None other than Back to the Future. Also a 1985 movie directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by him and Bob Gale and executive produced again by Steven Spielberg, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson,
and Seafull cast crew.
And Crispin Glover. I would say that's probably the last one I'm gonna say, or Thomas F. Wilson, one of the two.
Yeah.
The very first thing I noticed in this movie, like literally the very first thing, is when Robert Zemeckis' name comes up. Do you remember where that name's from as well?
Yeah.
Easter egg from this movie and another movie.
Yeah. Just let me get in the back of my mind. Hold on. Let me think for a second. Oh, it's coming to me. It's coming to me.
It's not coming
Oh,
to
I got it. Yeah, obviously it's Forrest Gump.
What? No, it's not. What are you talking about?
Yes, it is.
No.
He directed Forrest Gump.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Thomas.
That's well, that's good to know. That's not what I was talking about. In Ready
I have
Player
no idea.
One,
Oh.
it's a Zemeckis cube. It was named after him.
What?
Yep, it was named after him.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So I noticed that right away.
Such a
Regardless,
weird, obscure thing.
I know this movie. I really liked it. Just
Mhm.
I had only seen like maybe half of the Goonies, maybe like a quarter, maybe a third, something like that.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the whole thing, and I had never seen the Back to the Future series. Kind of a
Mhm.
reason why I really wanted to do this little cult classic thing, because I hadn't seen either of these. So I was like, all right,
Mhm.
I want to watch movies that I haven't seen. So let's do this. I loved these movies. I went ahead. I loved this movie so much that I watched the next two. It was so
Mhm.
fun, dude. I really enjoyed it. This one's the best one out of the series, but even then, like,
Yeah.
it's not like the next two are like bad by any means.
Yeah. This movie is like really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the acting is like, I thought it would just be like 1985 kind of acting, like the Goonies again.
It's not bad.
And no, what's his name? Michael J. Fox is like a funny like actor. I like
Yeah.
him. He's good. Also, one of the first things, because like I had only seen the most of this movie I saw was up to Marty McFly going back in time.
Right.
So like that's when I just like stopped. I think like I just stopped watching the movie at that point. But like I started rewatching it, and for some reason, the first scene when he was like with his parents at dinner, I was like, why do his parents and like his dad's boss look like 20 and 100 at the same time? And it was because they have like the worst old people makeup on I have ever seen. Like they look so bad.
It's funny
They're just a bunch
because
of, like,
I was watching when I first started this movie. I was like doing like a little bit of homework like on the side, but I was still like
Yeah.
kind of watching. And then I was just watching with Amelia like right before we started recording, just because like she wanted to see it. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Or I started watching it because I wanted to like get it fresh in my mind because I hadn't seen it for a couple of days really quick before we not the whole thing, but you know. And she was like, why do they have like 40 pounds of makeup on? And I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah. Because I didn't even notice the first time.
It's
like a lot.
There's like a scene with the mom where like she looks like fine walking to the table and like throwing the cake down. She like pats her daughter's hand and looks so decrepit, like she can barely do it. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like it looks so unnatural.
And the trivia
then,
apparently
it's
took
funny.
3 hours to get her to look like that.
Oh my gosh, they did a horrible job. The old people makeup is so bad.
It's
like,
so funny.
Biff, he like the scene where
Biff
like,
looks
he's
terrible.
grabbing the beer and he looks like there's a shot where he's just looking directly at Marty McFly and you just stare at him dead on. It looks so bad.
Dude,
his cheeks just look like
you
like
should
it's
see
so
it
gross.
in the second movie. They make him even older. It's so funny, dude. He looks awful. Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So as far as the characters go, since we're talking about characters already, yeah, Marty McFly is a great character. Everything about him was awesome. The wardrobe of this movie was probably one of my favorite details of the entire like series. The wardrobe was just so good. Like,
agreed.
Oh, and all the comments about it too. Like when he goes back, he's like, "Are you a sailor?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You got your life jacket on." He's like,
"That's funny,
it's a vest."
She just goes, like when he's in the house, she's like, "Oh, so I see that you're, or no, somebody asked him something and he just goes, yeah, Coast Guard." It's like, it's like a couple of times later and he's just like, yeah, he just goes with it.
When she calls him Calvin, because like Calvin Klein, that got me so good the first time.
Or the little line that the professor says in the beginning, he's like, "Oh, I gotta pack underwear. I'm allergic to all synthetics, and I don't know if there'll be cotton underwear in the future." And he like puts it in a suitcase. Also, like the doctor, I am a sucker for senile, crazy old genius characters. Like Futurama, the professor, I love this this character so much. He's so funny.
He's awesome. You get a lot more of him at the next couple movies. He's awesome. He's so good. Sure I do.
The scene where where Marty like shows up to his door for the first time in 1955, and knocks on the door, and he just like quickly grabs him in, and he's just like, "I'm trying to read your mind." And it's like what? And then he like is talking to like a painting of like someone in his family, and it's like some black and white thing, and he puts it up on the mantle,
Yeah.
and it's like George Washington's up there and a bunch of old people or something.
I definitely see where to like I see where, now that I've seen these movies, I see where like Rick and Morty really took their source material from and used some of it and applied it into that show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was like one of their biggest inspirations is this movie. So I love that.
Yeah. I love the I like how they did kind of like time travel, and it just kind of shows how time travel in movies is so just like wonky to make like a movie about. Like as an example, what's it called? Rick and Morty, they have a box in the garage that says time travel stuff. That is just kind of like an homage, being like, we don't really want to do an episode on time travel because it's just so like it just gets too complicated.
Yeah.
And then this one, they're just flux capacitor, getting to 88 miles an hour. You just go back in time.
Yeah.
It's like I like simple, like stuff like that. I just like simple stuff that you don't even have to explain because it's not even worth explaining. Hey, like you get to 88 miles an hour, you go back in time.
Yeah. I love all the like there's so many things in this movie that they wouldn't be able to do today. Like there's just like random Iranians that just show up.
Yeah. The Iranians in like a love bug. It's like what?
Yeah, like a VW bus.
Yeah, or the VW bug. The sound of the gunfire from the Iranians.
It was so bad.
It was like cartoon style.
It was amazing.
It was so weird.
I swear Marty says like Chinamans at some point. And I was just like, what? That was so funny.
One thing that threw me off that I didn't realize is Michael J. Fox is the voice of the character in Lost City of Atlantis. So like yeah,
he is.
The whole time this movie was going, I was just thinking of that guy in my head.
Really?
Like it's just his voice is so distinct.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
so good.
I love the music choices of this movie as well. Like it was just so 80s. I just loved how unashamed, like I mean obviously it was made in like literally the middle of the 80s, but like
yeah.
I don't know, like when you watch the Goonies, obviously it's a slightly different, thing. Yeah. Whereas in this, it was very specific to like, I feel like in these movies, obviously they were very specific, in their time blocks.
Yeah.
But I love how hard they dove into like the 80s like trends.
Yeah.
From like the Pepsi Zero or Pepsi Free, Pepsi Free to all the cars were like as 80s as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like just everything. I just loved that. The music was just so good. Obviously the fashion. Like when like Marty's band is playing and it pans to his girlfriend, I forgot her name. Jennifer? Is that her name? Jennifer?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Her hair is so 80s, dude. I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah. That was so great. I love how they honed in so hard on like the time of which they were trying to portray, both in this movie and the later movies. It was just so good.
Which is good. Like, I like that. I like how, two things. In the future, at the end of the movie, when Doc comes back from, like,
2015.
What is it, 2025?
2015.
Or 2015?
Yeah.
2015. The clothes he's wearing.
A clear tie?
Yeah. Like, his glasses is, like, kind of like the robotic, like, kind of thing. He's wearing, like, a golden, like, suit. It's so weird.
Have you seen the second one?
No, I haven't.
Dude, okay, so they go to 2015, right? I won't spoil too much, but like, I love how they portrayed or like tried to portray 2015 because obviously that was like 6 years ago now, and I remember it being Back to the Future Day. It was so funny. Specifically, like I noticed all the cars because I'm a car person. They just had they were just like cardboard like body kits over all these cars, but you could totally tell like there were still like 80s BMWs. There was still like a 1960s VW Bug, and I was just like, "What?"
That's funny. It
was great
watch now because like I lived in the time that they were kind of trying to predict.
It was really fun. You should.
Also, I love how these old movies, like these 80s and 90s movies, portray high school. Like, they still do it to this day, but just like like what is this, man? I mean, I don't know what high school was like. I guess back then, but like he goes back in time and his dad is like has like the kick me sign on it and he's just like
Yo,
getting kicked and stuff all the time. And just like bullies just like roll up to him at a diner and it's just like, where's my homework, nerd? It's just like what? I just love how they
why?
portrayed it like that.
His dad speaks with so much air in his voice.
Yeah, I hate his dad. His dad is
Yo,
so annoying.
the funniest part of anything surrounding his dad, because I thought of you right away because it was that laugh that he does when he looks at the TV. It's like you're like gross, like mocking laugh. You're like, that's how he was.
Yeah, he's like, it's literally what he does. Like it's so gross.
It was so bad. I love like
dinner, I hate it's so uncomfortable.
wait when they're like when they're old makeup.
Like, yeah, like that whole scene is so uncomfortable to me.
It was pretty funny.
Dad's such a beta. I mean, like that's a character, but like, oh my god,
it was
so
hilarious.
Gross.
It was pretty funny. I enjoyed that quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I really like this movie. I definitely have to admit that I went and see if I could get like Marty McFly shoes because they're kind of fire. Obviously not the hype, like not the Air Mags, not those, not the one in the second movie.
Okay, I was gonna say
that's
like
in the second movie.
Palsy ones.
No, do you know how much those are, dude? That did come
5,
up. Nike Air Mag.
Well, it's in
So on
a song by John Bellion.
So on StockX, right? They came out with 2 pairs. In 2011, I think in 2011 I don't think they actually lace. I think they just look like it. But in 2016, they did come out with them, and they were raffle only. You had to pay $10 a ticket, and all the proceeds would go to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. So, and then there were 3 pairs, I think, open raffled in like 3 different cities. So because of that, obviously, right off the rip, they're going to be very rare and worth a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Last sale was $50,000.
50. Okay, so my $75,000 bet was not too low.
Highest bid right now. Someone has a legitimate bid for $41,500. Yesterday it was $40,000, so it has gone up. So someone's still bidding on this, and the lowest ask in size 11 is $65,000. The lowest ask for size 7, which is kind of ridiculous, is $200,000, which I think that's not exactly correct. Size 13 is $44,900, and size 9 is $65,000. Again, isn't that crazy, dude?
Yeah.
You know, Jesse Wellens, the YouTuber.
Yes.
He has a pair. He has a pair, and he's like warned them.
I would never put those on my feet.
Yeah.
I would that's only for show. I'd slip them on, never stand up, and then I'd take them off.
Just walk around on carpet. Like, I've done it. Don't crease them. Just walk around on carpet.
Yeah. John Bellion has a line in the song Human that says, I spent $4,000 on Marty McFly's.
I think
so I think he has them.
I think the 2011 ones. Hold on, let me look. I think they're around there, actually.
Yeah, probably cheaper.
14,000.
So Michael J. Fox is what? Does he have?
Is it Parkinson's?
Parkinson's or ALS or something? That's like really sad. Dang. I was kind of thinking of that. I'm like, imagine.
Isn't it? Yeah, Parkinson's. Parkinson's. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Parkinson's.
That's what I thought.
One little Easter egg that
he's only 59, dude.
Oh jeez.
I thought he was older, right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
One thing that I like it was pointed out to me and kind of like saw as well. I feel like most people know in the scene he goes back in time and he lands up on a farm, which is Twin Pines Farm, because as the doc told him in the beginning that this was all farmland. And he's driving out and he slams through a pine tree.
Yeah.
And so it's just one pine. And then he goes back in time and the mall is called One Pine, or it's just called Pine Mall. It's not Twin Pine Mall or whatever.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so he slams through one pine tree, and then in the future, the mall is just one pine tree instead of 2.
You know what I did notice about this movie, though?
What'd you notice?
About that mall?
What?
So we both play Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Black Ops Cold War. It takes place in the 80s. What's the mall
Yeah.
map called?
The mall back?
The mall map.
Mall?
The Pines.
Oh, really?
Yup.
That's wild.
Yep.
It was kind of funny to see. It was kind of funny to see JC Penney on there.
Yeah, right.
I was just like, rip. Like
they're still around, but they're a lot smaller, obviously.
I saw it, and I just thought, like, the first thought was just like, oh, this building's abandoned. And I'm just like, wait, this isn't 2020. The JC Penney by my mall. This isn't like back then. This place is dead.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was funny. Also, I noticed this in the movie. And I see that it's here on their IMDb page on the Goofs. When Doc shows Marty McFly the diagram of the flux capacitor initially, it says flux compressor, not flux capacitor when he wrote it down.
Really?
It's just like a random thing. Yeah,
that's really funny.
I saw, like, when I first saw it, I saw P, and I was like, what? That doesn't say. Or I saw compressor, an M, not a P, and I was like, that's really weird. Yeah. What? Whoa, that's kind of crazy. The trivia, apparently Disney passed on this.
Really?
Yeah, it says, although Disney/Touchstone allegedly passed on producing the film due to it being too risque.
Yeah, wow. Apparently, also in the trivia, it says the script was rejected 44 times before it was finally greenlit. That's kind of a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I definitely understand how people are super nerds about this movie and about all like the littlest things. Obviously for you, sir, you have not seen the next two. Definitely go watch them because it's like it's like one big story separated into three movies.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah,
honestly, though,
I loved it.
What's the theme of this movie?
What do you mean?
What's the theme? What's like the
narrative? Sure,
the underlining kind of thing. Coming of age? Not really coming of age.
No, it is described. It is literally said in was it the last line? One of the very last lines of the third movie.
What? What is it like? Cherish the time you have. Family, I guess.
No, Doc said it. It was something to the tune of the future hasn't been determined. Only you can determine your future. Like the actions the decisions and actions you do now, will influence that. Basically, I don't remember exactly what the line was, but when he said it, I was like, "Ah, nice." You know what I mean?
So, what is the relationship between Doc and Marty? That
was never really explained, was it?
I don't think it is, ever.
It wasn't.
I was at first I was like, oh, it's like a student and it's like old crazy professor and they're just like friends or cool or whatever.
Yeah.
But what? I don't get it. Also, I don't know. It's kind of cool. I thought it was cool. It kind of threw me off at the end when he goes back to the future and then he sees the whole situation happen again and the professor gets shot and then he sees himself go back in time and then the professor has a bulletproof vest and stuff because he was warned in the past about the future. I think that is a really cool wrap up.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the future. I think that's super cool. But I don't know. That was just kind of whoa. I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
Also, the cars in this movie were so awesome. Not even the DeLorean. I don't even care about DeLoreans, dude. DeLoreans are pieces of garbage. If you don't know anything about cars, DeLoreans were large pieces of absolute dumpsters. They were they were all picked from different car companies. The freaking CEO of John DeLorean was caught with some sort of cocaine scandal. Giant thing, but
it's the 80s, man.
My favorite
mother was on cocaine.
My favorite car in this movie was Marty's Tundra at the end. That truck was so sick, or the Tacoma. That truck was so sick, dude. It was awesome. I'm pretty sure one sold. That was either a movie or a replica car for a lot of money.
Does he see that truck when he goes back in time? When does he? He sees a truck, right? I forget what. First of all, I don't pay attention to the cars, so I don't really know. But I know there's a scene where he like sees a car like for sale, and he's like, "Whoa, look at that truck!" That's one point. Oh, I think it's with his girlfriend at the beginning.
It could have
been.
And
then I'm guessing he gets it in the future.
It definitely could have been. I found the article. Back to the Future, this Toyota pickup sold for over $80,000.
Yeah, he definitely sees this truck as like when he was with his girlfriend, I think.
Wait.
And like the scene when they're just like on a park bench. Yeah, he does. That's cool. I mean, I don't really care about the cars. I don't really watch movies and pay attention to cars.
I mean, obviously,
that's more of a thing. Bit.
That's actually really cool. So just kidding. It sold for 80,000 Canadian dollars. So no one cares about their Maple Leaves. It sold for 45,400 freedom dollars.
Yeah.
And then apparently the same guy. Wait, sorry. Hold on. The truck sold for 58,000 freedom dollars, and the same guy listed a DeLorean that sold for $45,000. So he had like a pair, which is kind of sick actually. There's a picture here with the two cars, and on the DeLorean there's like the hoverboard that's in the next movie, and then on the truck there's the skateboard that he rode in the first movie. That's actually kind of sick. That's really cool actually. Imagine having like that pair in your garage. That's actually really sick.
Yeah.
But yes, I love these movies. I thought they were really fun.
Movies good. What would you rate it? I think I'd rate it a 8.5.
Yeah, that's what IMDb has it at. And I'd probably say about the same. Maybe like an 8.6. There's a big difference.
All right, let's end this now.
Nah, probably like an 8.5 to 8.8, something like that. Just under a 9, but only like just. I think
8.5 is good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this movie is just honestly all around good. Like, the script is also really good, I think. And the character, like, I think just the casting that they picked for these characters is, like, stellar.
Yeah.
Like, Christopher Lloyd. I don't, like, you couldn't imagine these characters, anybody else besides Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox.
No.
Like, you just can't. I mean, probably because of, like, I don't know. But you just can't. But yeah, I think Christopher Lloyd is after this movie is just one of my favorite characters, or not Christopher Lloyd,
Doc Brown
is just one of my favorite. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite like characters because I love senile old men. They're just funny, especially with like just senile like scientists. They're just funny to me.
All of these still got like pretty good ratings. The first one got an 8.5, the second one got a 7.8, and the last one got a 7.4. I mean, they got, like I said, the first one's the best one, but even then, the second two still aren't bad movies. They're still pretty good.
Yeah. Did you also, one thing that I noticed that I replayed and watched, did you see how terrible the fire tracking was? When they put Einstein the dog in the car and then drive it at themselves, and then it like goes into the future or into the past, and there's like a trail of fire. It goes in between their legs and behind them. If you see, literally, like, the fire's clipping through Marty's foot on one of them.
Yeah,
and then,
I saw that.
It looks like the dock is just kind of, like, floating in the air.
Yeah.
It's so bad, but, like, it's 85.
It's of the time.
It's like the Goonies, like...
Yeah. It was great.
I think it's really good.
You should definitely watch the second two. Watch this, if you have time, watch the second two before next week's or our next recording, and you can let us all know what you thought, Isaac.
All right, we'll do. Do we have any idea what we're going to watch next? And if we do we know what we want to tell the people?
I have no idea.
I have a Korean film that just came out on Netflix in mind to watch that is apparently very cool. And I watched the first 10 minutes and it's really cool.
You see, here's the thing. The last time you suggested a movie that had just come out that you said is supposed to be really good. We spent all of 20 minutes talking about it because it was so bad.
No, I suggested it before pre-reviews, and I said the potential of the actors looks like it could be a good movie. I didn't know that the script was going to be absolute dog trash. But that is not my fault. That is not my fault. But this movie apparently is like a big blockbuster that just came out in Korea, and it's like kind of cool because it's in the future, and there's a bunch of like Earth is kind of like trash, and people move to space and stuff, and like
So
whatever.
like Wall-E, or
But
what are we talking here?
I don't know. No, more like I don't know. More like just anything where they like the rich people leave Earth and poor people stay on Earth.
Like
You know?
Elysium?
Not like everyone leaves Earth.
Do you remember that movie
Yeah.
with Matt Damon?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, what
Kind
a
of like
absolutely forgettable movie.
yeah.
Great
I don't know.
premise.
But everybody has a translator in their ear, so there are people that speak different languages, but everybody kind of hears it, but they speak their own language. So like kind of like the main overarching one, if there's like a robot talking, or like an intercom, it's like English, but there'll be like pilots who are speaking English, and the next person speaks French, and the next person speaks Korean, and the next person speaks like Spanish. Like, I mean, there's subtitles for you, but like it's all, everybody is just talking regularly, and it's just kind of cool. I like that idea. It's a cool premise. But that is a film that we could watch. But I don't know.
Let's keep the viewers wondering
On their toes.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see. I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah. You know what? I will tweet it. I promise that I'll tweet it. So if you want, follow the Twitter below. If Thomas ever links it, because he literally doesn't link our social medias, even though he says he will.
I usually do. I forgot last couple weeks, honestly.
Yeah, just link my Twitter, our Twitter, and I'll tweet it.
I forgot.
My account will
like
it. Your account will like it.
I forgot on last week's episode, not gonna lie as well, because I even forgot to upload it on time, so I uploaded it late today.
Yeah, I saw, but whatever.
It's all right.
Hey, sorry that you guys can't watch it at 7 in the morning. You got to wait till 12.
Yeah, I think it was like 2.
I don't know when it went up.
2.
I don't know. I was at the gym.
All right. This episode has gone off the rails now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't seen either of these movies, definitely Back to the Future. Definitely go watch all 3 of them. Isaac, go watch the last 2. I really like them. They're super fun. Even if you haven't seen the Goonies, go watch that too, because it's a cult classic, so everyone should watch it at some point. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode focusing on these 2 cult classic movies.
Classic.
Yes, sir. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more of this, hit that subscribe button down below to see more things come to your sub box. Leave a like, of course, and let us know your opinions on either of these 2 movies, or what other cult classics we should be watching instead. In those comments down below.
Lord knows there's a lot of them. There's a lot of cult classics.
That's facts.
You consider Star Wars as a cult classic?
I think A New Hope is definitely a cult classic, but I don't know about the other 2.
More of just like
the originals.
Star Wars, I feel like just in whole is just a cult.
That's facts.
And then the one movie's a cult classic, and the rest of it is just a bunch of.
It's kind of hard.
Nerds.
It's kind of hard to quantify like an IP that big as a cult classic, even though it started like in the days of what we would consider today a cult classic. So because of that, I'd say the first one you could make the argument. I don't know about the other 2 of the originals.
That's true. Well, yeah. I mean, even then, like you could probably just lump in the original trilogy because people just love like. Solely the original trilogy.
I'm very excited. The Star Wars whole series of podcast is coming at some point. Some point soon.
When we're less busy. When I'm less busy, because I'm the one who needs to catch up on my Star Wars stuff. This dude reads the manga of Star Wars, so he knows every detail.
What does that even mean?
He knows like. I don't know. You read the books of Star Wars, Thomas.
I've never read a Star Wars book.
That's what I meant.
I've never read that.
I'm surprised. I'm going to buy you some for your birthday. I'm going to buy you Star Wars books so you get the lore. This dude basically knows like the plant names of some of these things.
I definitely don't.
It's crazy.
I joined like a Facebook meme group because it was so funny, and someone in the comments literally like nerded out so hard about this like Star Destroyer. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
At some point, like,
dude, go outside. Feel the touch of the sunlight.
Yeah, of anything.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. My name's Thomas. This is Isaac. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Brothers on Air. We will see you guys next time.
sir.
Bye.
Goodbye. I don't know. Outro music.